You've likely heard of or perhaps watched the Roland Garros French Open tennis tournament at some time. But how much do you know about its namesake? Eugene Adrian Roland Georges Garros lived between October 1888 and October 1918, a time in which he'd become one of France's premier aviators. Despite suffering from pneumonia as a child, Garros was a well-regarded sportsman through school, excelling in rugby, football, cycling and tennis. Regarded as a bit of an eccentric in those early years, he opened a car dealership on leaving school. Here he'd form a close friendship with Ettore Bugatti, the iconic car designer, becoming the first owner of a Bugatti Type 18, a model that would be known as the Garros. His love for aviation began in 1909, having experienced the aviation meeting in Reims, and within years he'd find himself competing in air races across Europe, including the qualifying round of the 1914 Schneider Trophy and also being the first pilot to cross the Mediterranean. With the outbreak of war in 1914, Garros would join the French army and immediately be embroiled in the spectacular, with a French newspaper claiming Garros was involved in the first air battle in world history and that he had flown his plane into a Zeppelin, destroying the airship and killing its pilots and himself. A report that was categorically false. In 1915, Garros would crash over German-held territory and be interned in POW camps for the next 3 years before finally escaping back to Britain via the Netherlands and immediately rejoining the French army. He'd claim another couple of air victories before on the 5th of October, 1918, Garros was shot down and killed over the Ardennes, just a month before the end of the war and 1 day short of his 30th birthday.